What's up, everyone? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Reoz and my other partner Braxton here for some MMA. Yeah, so we're covering UFC 270 here over on prizepicks. So, like I mentioned before, prizepicks is doing a promotional for Patrick Mahomes if you're into the NFL. He needs one passing yard to get over that. That's going to be a cool promotion. I think the max is 25 you can throw on that. Don't quote me, but usually when they give you like pretty much a free lock to punch in, it's usually only 25, but still a super solid promo. But the key is with prize picks, you can mix and match sports. So if you wanted to take Patrick Mahomes and pair him up with somebody in the UFC, as we're going to be talking about, you definitely can do that. So that's cool. It's a nice change of pace from your other DFS sites like FanDuel, DraftKings. You take the over under on player props. So it gets a little bit tricky with UFC. This is your first time joining us for a UFC video, we only do picks here. Usually on the NBA videos, NFL, we usually kind of break down the slate. But we're gonna go through three picks we like here. So they got like fight time, significant strikes, fantasy score. The way they do the fantasy score is very similar to like a DraftKings or like a FanDuel if you ever played over there. And they do takedowns. So I'm ready to dive into this. You can sign up using promo code Upstate to give you a 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $100. So, yeah, just punch that in if you haven't signed up yet, and if you deposit 100, you get 100 back to play with. So, let's dive right into this slate, man. 270, two title fights. What are you guys thinking about the slate?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good card. I mean, I wish there would have been some better fights in this main card, but two title fights, you can't really complain.
No, not at all. What do you think, Braxton?
All in all, should be a good card, man. We're gonna have the two biggest, baddest men step into the octagon for the main event. So there's all in all, you can't really complain about that, man.
Yeah, so let's dive into fight time here. We have one guy that we like in fight time, um, and he's at 17 and a half here. Brandon Moreno, we're kind of picking this fight to go the distance anyways, so we're going to go over the 17 and a half fight rounds, which pretty much correlates to 3.5 rounds. So 17 and a half fight minutes, what do you guys think over?
Yeah, I mean, this is their third time fighting. We saw their first fight, it was a draw. So obviously that went the distance. And then we saw Brandon choke him out, and it didn't get to the distance. So, I mean, definitely two very close fights. This one's going to be no different. So, over this
What do you think
17
about
and
it,
a half,
Bubs?
almost kind of something.
I mean, I agree with it, man. I think it definitely should be a lock. I mean, like Rhea said, the first one went to a draw, and usually, like when we see these trilogy fights, uh, they know more about each other, so they become a little bit more hesitant. They take their time a little bit more, and that's what I'm expecting to see here. I wouldn't even be shocked if it went the distance. So I think at 17 and a half, it's good value in time.
I believe so too. And then over in fantasy score, we're gonna jump to. We don't have really much in significant strikes that we like. Over in fantasy score, we're gonna go to the bottom. Cyril Gane, we're gonna go to him. He's the favorite in this match against Nagano. But we like the under here on him because we think Nagano's gonna win this fight. He's plus money right now. Nagano is, so we like the underdog in this fight. So we believe that if Gane's gonna hit over this 92 and a half, he's gonna have to win the fight. We're taking him to lose the fight, so therefore we're going to go under here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of in agreement that we think Igano's going to win, but uh, this is a lot of fantasy score for definitely someone who just doesn't really bring that much. I mean, he definitely brings a lot of pressure to Iganu in the fact that he's got almost the same amount of power. But Igano could really finish this in the first or second round and not really have any fantasy score. And even if it goes to distance, Gain's got to do a lot of damage. He's got to have a couple takedowns that we really don't see happening. And not only that, the significant strikes are really going to have to add up if it goes into the late fourth or fifth rounds.
Yeah, I love that, especially your last statement there. Like even if Gon does win, he wins by decision in my opinion. So you only get 20 points for that, and for him to get the rest of them points, he's gonna have to rack up a lot of significant strikes, and I don't know if he's gonna do that, man. Especially against like a known power puncher like Nuganu, he's gonna be thinking about every time he steps into the pocket there, because one right hook, you know what I mean, one counter, the fight's done. So for
Exactly.
him to reach that, he'd have to win, and he'd have to have a really good performance. So I think that that's a lock for the under there.
Yeah, no doubt. That one's definitely not the fan favorite. I know a lot of people are gonna probably put a lot of money over on Gone, but we feel the opposite here, going against the grain. And then we're gonna go over to takedowns here. The little monster Vanessa Demopoulos, I think that's how you say it. Maybe I'm butchering that so bad, but I'll call her the little monster. We're gonna go under 2.5 takedowns here, in this female fight. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll let Bubs take this one.
Yeah, so Demopoulos is she's a really good grappler, but her wrestling is poor, man. She can't get it to the ground. In her two UFC fights, she's 0 for 7 on her takedowns. And for her to get 3 takedowns in this fight would be a surprise to me. And her opponent, Silvana Gomez Juarez, she's no slouch, you know what I mean? She has pretty good stand up, and she's going to look to keep the fight standing because that's where she has her advantage. So with that being said, I don't see her even getting one takedown, let alone 3.
Yeah, so I think this is pretty fair value. Like you're saying, Demopoulos, if a lot of money's coming in on her, I'm not even getting, 1 or 2 takedowns. I think here on Prize Picks, they're giving us really fair value here to get under this 2.5 takedowns. So usually we don't go unders here on Upstate, but we're going 2 unders on this UFC card. We didn't really have that great of a performance last time we did UFC over on Prize Picks. We did really good on the bets. We are going to be covering this on Patreon too. I didn't mention the Patreon at the beginning, Reoz, if you want to give them some breakdown of the Patreon service that we offer.
Yeah, we do NFL, NBA every single day, NFL especially now in playoffs. Definitely a good sign to sign up with the playoffs going on with NBA every single day, and doing a lot of bets, especially for MMA. We're probably going to work in some bets over on the Patreon for the fight nights. So you can find a lot of knowledge over there. We have hit rate articles, so you can find that at patreon.com/upstate.
Yeah, man. So thank you guys for watching this video. We're going to be hopping into some bet stuff right after this. So stay tuned for that video, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.